After selling my vintage guitar collection to pay off her debt, I came home to a party. Her friends toasted to finally finding a real man, not some washed-up musician. My wife just smiled and kissed one of them. I watched, then walked out. Last night, she was sobbing into my voicemail, "Please come home. Please." I never thought my life would end up like this. I stood in the doorway of my own house, guitar calluses still rough on my fingertips, watching a scene that didn't feel real. The living room was packed. Music blared from the speakers, empty bottles and red cups littered every surface. People I barely recognized, my wife's new friends laughing, shouting, raising their drinks. And right in the center of it all was my wife, Kelly. Not even 3 months ago, we'd been sitting at the kitchen table, going over credit card statements and tears welling in her eyes. She'd been drowning in debt, a mess from her online boutique that never turned a profit. "I don't know what to do, Adam," she'd whispered, clutching my hand. "I've ruined everything." So I made the decision. I sold my vintage guitar collection, 20 years of collecting, memories, sweat, gone in a week. The 59 Strat. The Gretsch my dad gave me. The old Martin that got me through countless nights of heartbreak and joy. All of them. I handed her the check with a smile, kissed her on the forehead. "We're a team," I told her. "We'll get through this." I believed that. God, I believed it. Tonight, though, I came home from a late shift, the first extra gig I'd picked up since going full-time at the hardware store, and walked straight into a party. I wasn't supposed to be home yet. Kelly didn't see me at first. I stood frozen in the hallway, invisible in my own damn house. And then one of her friends, some tan, gym rat type with gelled hair, raised his drink and shouted over the noise. To Kelly. Finally finding a real man, not some washed-up musician. The room erupted in cheers and laughter. I couldn't breathe. And then Kelly, my wife, the woman I'd sacrificed for, just smiled. No embarrassment. No guilt. She smiled. And then kissed him. Right there, in front of everyone. Long, slow. Like I never existed. I don't even remember walking out. Just the sound of my boots on the sidewalk, the night air sharp in my lungs. I drove. No destination. Just away. Slept in my truck at the lake. This morning, my phone was full of missed calls and voicemails. The last one was just her, sobbing. "Please, Adam, please come home, please." I was drunk, I didn't mean it, "We can fix this, please." I've listened to it 6 times now. I'm sitting here in this parking lot with the sun coming up. My whole life in a duffel bag on the passenger seat. And I don't know if I'll ever go back. Update. I've been sitting here for a few hours now thinking about everything. The truth is, this didn't happen out of nowhere. Our relationship, it started changing months ago. It used to be good. Real good. We met at a local open mic night, me on guitar, her with some friends. She liked that I played, said it made me different from the guys she usually dated. For a while, we were inseparable. Late nights listening to records, her head on my shoulder. She came to every gig. She used to tell me she loved the way music was a part of me. But about a year ago, things started to shift. After the boutique failed, she stopped coming to my shows. Said she was too tired. Then the comments started. Little things. "Why don't you get a real job? You're almost 40, Adam, when are you going to grow up?" It stung, but I tried to brush it off. I thought she was just stressed. I told myself we'd get through it. Then she started hanging out with this new group of friends. People she met through a fitness class, I think. Younger crowd, more money, fast cars. I met them once, didn't fit in at all. They talked about stocks and influencers, not music or life or anything real. After that, she started staying out later. More girls' nights. More, don't wait up. I'd be home with takeout and the dog, strumming on the one guitar I couldn't bring myself to sell, the old Martin, while she posted selfies from rooftop bars. Then came the debt. She hadn't told me how bad it had gotten with the boutique. Maxed out cards, loans, all in her name, but it was drowning us both. So I sold the collection. I thought that would mean something to her. That maybe it'd remind her of who we were. But after that, it felt like she drifted even further. Like some wall had gone up. She stopped touching me. Conversations turned into arguments. I was too tired from double shifts, she was always on her phone. And when I asked her what was going on, she'd just snap, "God, Adam, you're so negative. You just don't get it." I guess I didn't. And now here we are. She called again while I was writing this. Another voicemail. More sobbing. "You don't understand, it wasn't what it looked like, please come home. We can fix this." But the thing is, I think this broke something in me. I don't know if I can be the man who forgives this. Not after I gave up so much for her. I'm still parked here, watching the sun rise over this dusty lot. And for the first time in years, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Update. I guess part of me was hoping the voicemails would stop. They didn't. By mid-afternoon, there were 12. And about 20 texts. They ranged from begging to angry to apologetic and back again. "Why won't you answer me? I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. You don't understand, they were just trying to cheer me up. You promised we'd get through things together. Please, Adam, please, just come home." But the words felt hollow. Like they were meant for the version of me that still existed before last night. And that man is gone. Still, I needed clarity. I didn't want to make some rash decision out of anger. I needed to see it again. To know that what I saw wasn't some twisted dream. So I drove back. Not to go inside. Just to see the house. It was about 6 p.m. The driveway was empty except for her car. The music was gone. The windows dark. I parked across the street. Sat there for a while. Then, without really thinking, I scrolled through our home security app. I'd set up cameras a couple years ago after a break-in scare. I'd almost forgotten about them. There was a clip from last night, timestamped around midnight. I tapped play. There they were, her and that guy. Arms around each other on my couch. The same couch I'd carried up the damn stairs when we first moved in. And the others, laughing. Drinking. Someone even grabbed my old amp and was fiddling with it, the one I couldn't sell because it was busted. That toast? I watched it again. Heard it clear as day this time. To Kelly. Finally finding a real man. And her smile. That damn smile. Like I'd never mattered. I sat there a long time. I don't even remember how long. Eventually, the front porch light flicked on. The door opened. It was her. She stood there, barefoot in an old hoodie, phone pressed to her ear. Probably calling me again. I killed the engine. Drove away before she could spot me. I'm back at the lake now. The same spot I slept in last night. The truck's still my only refuge. I haven't called anyone yet. Not my brother. Not my best friend. Hell, I haven't even answered my mom's texts. She knows something's up. I keep thinking about that collection. 20 years. I can still feel the weight of those guitars in my hands. And I gave them up to save us. And she threw a party. I don't know what tomorrow looks like. But I know one thing. I'm not going home tonight. Update. I didn't sleep much last night. Maybe an hour or two in the truck. Kept waking up with that sick feeling in my gut. By sunrise, I knew I couldn't keep sitting here alone. So I finally called someone. First instinct was to call my brother, Mark. He's younger but steady, always the one who listens without a lot of judgment. It took a while for me to work up the nerve, but I finally dialed him around 7 a.m. He picked up on the second ring. Adam? You okay, man? You sound rough. And that was it. The minute I heard his voice, it all came spilling out. Not everything, not the whole damn story, but enough. The guitars, the debt, the party, and what I saw. He didn't interrupt. Just listened. When I finally ran out of words, there was this long pause. And then he said, real quiet. She did that after everything you gave up for her? Jesus, man. I told him I didn't know what to do. I wasn't ready to go back. But I didn't know how long I could stay living out of my truck either. And that's when he said, come here. Crash at my place. Spare room's empty. No pressure. Just, don't sit out there by yourself anymore. So that's where I am now, sitting on his couch, phone charging next to me. He's at work but left me a key and said to make myself at home. I still haven't answered any of Kelly's messages. She's still calling. Still texting. The last one hit me harder than the rest. I know you hate me. I hate me too. Please just tell me if you're okay. And for a second, my fingers hovered over the keyboard. I almost typed, I'm fine. Don't call me. But I didn't. Not because I wanted to torture her. But because I don't know what I want yet. Right now? I'm just trying to breathe. Mark's wife, Jenna, is bringing dinner tonight. She said she'll hang out for a bit. She always liked me, treated me like family. Part of me dreads it, having to see that look of pity in someone's eyes. But maybe that's what I need. A reminder that this isn't the end of me. The house? The marriage? The guitars? I can't get those years back. But maybe I can still get me back. Update. It's been 2 days since I came to Mark's place. I slept like a rock the first night, first decent sleep I've had in weeks, maybe months. No dog barking. No old couch creaking. Just quiet. Yesterday, Jenna came home early and brought takeout. Sat with me at the kitchen table while Mark was working late. She didn't hover, didn't press. Just sat across from me eating her noodles, casual as anything. Then, real soft, she said, you gonna tell me what happened? Or you want me to pretend I don't already know? And somehow that cracked something open. I told her. All of it this time. The debt, selling the guitars, the party, the toast. The kiss. Her eyes got shiny. Not angry, just sad. God, Adam. I'm so sorry. We sat there a while in silence. I kept waiting for advice. For her to say, go back and fight for her, or divorce her, screw her. But what she said instead surprised me. You know what scares me most? She asked. That after all you did, she didn't even seem to think it was wrong. That smile? That toast? You can fix a lot of things in a marriage, Adam. But if respect is gone, that's hard to rebuild. She was right. That's what's been eating at me most. The guitars, the debt of hell, I could forgive a lot of things. But that look on her face, like I was nothing. That's the wound I can't stop touching. Later that night, I finally opened her last string of texts. There were dozens by now. But one stuck out. I know I don't deserve anything from you. But can you please just tell me if you're safe? I stared at it a long time. Then finally typed. I'm safe. Staying with Mark. Don't call. I hit send. No reply yet. Mark told me I can stay here as long as I need. He even joked about helping me apartment hunt when I'm ready. Said I could take my time but also warned me not to sit in limbo too long. You're not the guy who hides out forever, Adam. Just remember that. He's right. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna call a lawyer. Not to file anything yet. Just to understand what my options are. Because deep down, I think I already know I can't go back to that house. Not like this. And as much as it hurts, maybe that's the start of moving forward. Update. I made the call today. Took me half the morning to work up to it, but I finally did. Found a well-reviewed family attorney downtown. Name's Rachel Kim. First consult was free, so I figured, what do I have to lose? Mark offered to drive me, but I wanted to go alone. Needed to face it myself. Her office was clean, simple. No nonsense. Rachel looked to be in her mid-40s, sharp eyes, calm voice. The kind of person who'd seen it all. She didn't waste time. After a handshake, she sat down and said, "Tell me everything." So I did. Every ugly bit of it. The debt, the guitars, the party, the kiss, me walking out. When I was done, she sat back, folded her hands. "Adam, I'm going to be honest with you. What happened sounds deeply painful. But from a legal standpoint, no kids, no shared property aside from the house, no major joint accounts, your situation is actually pretty clean. You have options." Hearing that, something inside me eased just a little. She went on. "Now, you need to decide, are you emotionally prepared to stay? To separate? To file? Because the longer you float in the middle, the more leverage she has if this turns contentious." I admitted I wasn't sure yet, that I was still in shock. And then she said something that stuck. "That's normal. But remember this, forgiveness is one thing. Trust is another. Without trust, marriage becomes a contract of convenience, not a partnership." Damn, that hit hard. She gave me a folder with basic steps if I chose to file. "No pressure. Call me when you're ready. And if she tries to pull any stunts, locking you out, draining accounts, showing up here, call me immediately." When I left, the sun felt a little brighter. I wasn't powerless. I had options. When I got back to Mark's, he was waiting on the porch. Handed me a cold beer and didn't say a word, just raised it in a toast. "One step at a time, brother," he finally said. And yeah, he's right. One step at a time. Later tonight, though, something happened. Kelly texted again after 2 days of silence since my "I'm safe" message. This time. "Can we please talk? Just once. In person. No yelling. Please." I stared at it for a long time. My gut twisted. Part of me wanted to delete it and never look back. Another part of me needed to hear what the hell she thought she was going to say. I haven't answered. But tomorrow. I think I will. Not to fix things. Not to give her false hope. But maybe to finally get some damn closure. Update. I met with her today. Wasn't sure I'd go through with it even as I was driving over. Spent half the night tossing in Mark's spare bed, replaying that damn text in my head. "Can we please talk? Just once. In person. No yelling. Please." In the end, I needed to look her in the eye. Not for her sake, for mine. I texted her this morning. "I'll come by at 2. 30 minutes. That's all." Her reply came fast. "Thank you. I'll be here." When I pulled into the driveway, my chest felt tight. The house looked smaller somehow. Sad. Her car was there. No other cars this time. I stood on the porch a good minute before knocking. When she opened the door, man, she looked wrecked. Puffy eyes. No makeup. Same hoodie from the other night. "Hey," she whispered. "Come in." I didn't move. Just said, "We'll talk. But I'm not staying." She nodded and stepped aside. I followed her into the living room, the same room where it all happened. Felt like walking into a crime scene. The couch looked like it hadn't been touched since. Empty bottles gone, but the air still felt stale. We sat on opposite sides of the room. Long silence. Finally, she spoke. Voice shaky. "Adam, I don't know where to start. I know there's nothing I can say to make it okay. But please, just let me explain." I didn't stop her. Just stared, arms crossed. And she started talking. Fast. Words tumbling out. How she'd felt trapped. How the debt made her feel like a failure. How watching me sell the guitars made her hate herself, but also resent me because it reminded her what she'd cost us. How the new friends gave her an escape. How the party wasn't planned like that, just got out of hand. And the guy? His name's Ryan. Been hanging around for a couple months. Nothing serious, she claimed. Not until that night. I was drunk, I swear. Then came the waterworks. Full sobbing. I was stupid, Adam. I was selfish. I ruined us. I know I did. But it wasn't because I stopped loving you. I was lost. And when you walked out, I knew I pushed too far. She wiped her face, looked at me, really looked at me. "Please. I'm not asking you to forgive me now. I just need you to know I'm sorry. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. Therapy, whatever. I'll pay back the debt myself. Just don't give up on us yet. Please." Another long pause. And that's when I finally spoke. "Kelly, I believed in us. I gave up damn near everything trying to help you. And what I walked into that night, I can't unsee that. And the worst part? You didn't even flinch when they toasted that. You smiled." She broke down again. Whispered, "I hated myself the second you left. I stood. I came today to hear this. And I'm glad I did. But I'm not ready to talk about us. Right now, there is no us. I need time. And space. Understand?" She nodded, crying hard now. "I'll respect that. Please don't shut me out forever." I didn't promise her anything. Just said, "Take care of yourself." And I walked out. I sat in the truck for a long time before driving off. I didn't feel relief. Not yet. Just empty. But one thing's clearer now, I'm not going back. Not for now. Maybe not ever. Next step? I'm calling Rachel tomorrow. Time to start protecting myself legally, financially. Because no matter how this ends, I'm done letting this happen on her terms. Update. I called Rachel this morning. Told her about the meeting with Kelly. Everything that was said. How I'm not ready to talk about us, and honestly, I don't think there is an us anymore. Rachel didn't waste time. Good. Now it's time we protect you. First thing, you need to separate finances if you haven't already. I admitted I hadn't. Our joint account was still open, though I hadn't touched it since leaving. Most of my paychecks from the hardware store had been going into it automatically. She didn't like that. You need to open a new account today. Move your paychecks. If she's desperate or spiraling, she might drain it even unintentionally. So after we hung up, I went straight to the bank. Sat there opening a personal account while some college kid banker made small talk about summer plans. Felt surreal. When I checked the joint account, I noticed Kelly had already pulled $600 over the past 2 days. Not a huge amount, but enough to prove Rachel's point. I moved what was left into the new account. Left $200 in the old one, enough to cover pending charges but nothing more. Texted Rachel when it was done. She replied almost instantly, smart move. Next step, start thinking about what you want. Legal separation? Divorce? If you're not ready to file yet, that's okay. But mentally, you need to prepare. I told her I'd think on it this week. But in my gut, I think I already know. When I got back to Mark's this afternoon, there was a package on the porch. No return address. Just my name. Inside, a plain envelope. A letter from Kelly. Handwritten. Long tear-stained. The first few lines hit hard. Adam, I know you won't answer my calls. I understand. But please. I need you to know none of this was about not loving you. You were always more than enough. I was the broken one. I am. And I don't expect forgiveness. But I'm begging you not to hate me. I couldn't live with that. She went on for pages. Memories. Regrets. How seeing me walk out gutted her. How she hadn't touched the guitars that were left. How she knew she didn't deserve me back, but hoped someday maybe we could at least talk again. It wrecked me for a bit. I'll be honest. I don't hate her. I wish I could. Hate would be easier than this numbness. But love? I don't know if that's there anymore. The respect is gone. The trust is shattered. I folded the letter, put it back in the envelope. Didn't throw it away, not yet. Mark saw me sitting there after and just said, she's reaching. Doesn't mean you have to reach back. He's right. So tomorrow, I'm meeting with Rachel again. Gonna talk about what filing would look like, what to expect, how to handle the house, the debt. No more floating. I may not be ready for final decisions yet. But I'm done standing still. Update. Met with Rachel again this afternoon. It felt different this time, not like I was coming in shell-shocked, but like I was ready to actually do something. We went over everything: finances, the house debts. Adam, she said, you're in a position to file. No kids, no alimony risk. The debt she racked up? Unless it's joint, you won't be on the hook for all of it. The house is tricky. Technically, we're both on the deed. But I already told Rachel I'm not fighting to keep it. Too many ghosts in there now. We can negotiate for her to refinance it under her name, Rachel said. Or, worst case, force a sale. Either way, you won't be trapped. We talked timelines. Costs. Emotional toll. And by the end, I said it out loud for the first time. I think I'm ready to file. She nodded calm. Then let's get the ball rolling. I signed the first round of papers today. They'll be prepped and served in the next couple weeks. Driving back to Mark's, I felt lighter. Not happy. Not relieved. But clearer. Like taking that first real step forward out of the fog. But of course, life doesn't stay simple. When I got back, Mark met me at the door. She came by, he said. My stomach dropped. When? An hour ago. Knocked, asked if you were here. I told her no, wasn't sure if you wanted to see her. She left this. He handed me another envelope. This time thicker. Inside, another letter. And a stack of printed photos, old ones. Us on vacation. At shows. At her wedding. Her handwriting scrawled on the back of each one. I still love you. I was lost. Not anymore. Please don't do this yet. The letter was more desperate this time. Full of please, please, please. Full of I'll do anything. It twisted something in me reading it. Because for a moment, just a flicker, I remembered the woman I'd married. The one who used to sit cross-legged on the floor while I played guitar, singing along, eyes bright. But that woman? She wasn't the one who toasted to me being a washed-up musician. She wasn't the one who kissed another man in my living room. And as much as it hurt, that's the woman I have to remember now. I didn't reply. I won't. Mark's keeping the letter and photos in a drawer in case Rachel says we need them. And me? I'm sitting here tonight with my old Martin in my lap. First time I've touched it in weeks. Just letting my fingers remember how it feels to play. Not for her. Not for anyone. Just for me. Update. The papers went out this week. Rachel texted me Tuesday morning. Service scheduled for tomorrow. I'll update once confirmed. I didn't tell anyone but Mark. Didn't feel like broadcasting it. Wednesday afternoon, Rachel called. It's done. She's been served. Expect contact and stay calm. No response needed unless through me. I thought I was prepared for that moment. But hearing the words still punched me in the gut. She's been served. Final now. Real. I figured it'd take her a day or two to react. I was wrong. Barely 2 hours later, my phone blew up. Texts. Calls. One after another. Adam, please. You don't have to do this. Please, let's talk again. I'm begging you, please don't throw us away. I know I messed up, but this can't be how it ends. Please. When I didn't answer, she called Mark. Straight to voicemail. Then, and this one really shook me, she called my mom. I didn't even know they'd been talking lately. Mark texted me right after. Heads up, your mom just called me. Kelly reached out to her. I called my mom. She answered, already sounding worried. Adam, honey, she called me crying, saying she made the biggest mistake of her life. That she's trying everything to reach you. I didn't know what to tell her. I took a deep breath. Told my mom everything, the parts one hadn't before. The party. The toast. The kiss. Silence on the other end. Then, oh, Adam. I told her gently but firmly, Mom, please. Don't get in the middle of this. I know you want to help, but this is mine to handle. Please just stay out of it. She promised she would. But I could tell it hurt her. That's what kills me about this, it's not just wrecking me. It's splashing onto everyone else. After that I texted Rachel. She's calling family now. Anything I should do? Rachel replied fast. Do not engage. Do not reply to her. If she shows up in person or escalates further, call me immediately. I'll file for a protective order if necessary. You are doing exactly what you should. Stay calm, stay clear. So that's where things stand tonight. She's spiraling. I expected that. Doesn't make it easier. And me? I'm sitting here again in Mark's spare room. The Martin's leaning in the corner. I'll probably play a little later, it's been helping more than I expected. I'm tired. God, I'm tired. But for the first time in weeks. I'm not wavering. The papers are in. The line is drawn. And no matter how loud she gets now, I'm not going back. Update. I thought the next few days would be more of the same, texts, voicemails, maybe more pressure through family. But this? I didn't see this coming. Yesterday afternoon I got a call from an unknown number. Almost didn't answer, figured it might be spam, or worse, Kelly trying from another line. But something in me said pick up. Hello? Is this Adam? Male voice. Polite, quiet. Yeah, who's this? My name's Ryan. Look, I'm really sorry to call you like this. But I thought you should hear this from me, not anyone else. Ryan. It took me a second to place the name. Then it clicked, Ryan. The guy from the party. The one she kissed. My stomach dropped. I didn't say anything. Just waited. He kept going, nervous as hell. I know what happened at your house. And after. I didn't know she was married when we first started hanging out. She told me after, said things were basically over, that you guys were separating. I was an idiot. I believed her. I finally found my voice. Why are you calling me now? Deep breath on his end. Because she showed up at my place last night. Drunk. Crying. Saying you'd filed. Begging me to help her, to tell you she still loves you, that it wasn't serious between us. Man, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I ended it weeks ago. I should have never gotten involved. Another pause. She's not stable right now. Said some stuff that scared me a little. About doing something drastic if you don't take her back. I don't know if it's talk or real, but I figured you should know. That chilled me more than anything so far. I kept it calm. Asked, did she say what kind of drastic? Not exactly. Just stuff like, I can't live if he divorces me or I'll lose everything. Stuff like that. I thanked him for the call. Told him I'd pass it to my lawyer. After I hung up, I sat there a long time. Hands shaking a little. Then I called Rachel. Told her everything. She didn't hesitate. I'm filing for an emergency temporary protective order tomorrow. If she's making these kinds of statements, we're not taking chances. You do not contact her. If she shows up, call the police immediately, then me. I agreed. Rachel's also contacting one of her legal contacts who deals with mental health crisis interventions just in case things get worse. I told Mark everything when he got home. He's been a rock through this, but I could tell even he was shaken. You're staying here until this is settled, he said. Period. So that's where things stand tonight. I thought this would be a clean break. Painful, yes, but clean. Now I'm realizing sometimes the people you think you know best unravel the fastest. I hope she gets help. I really do. But I can't be the one to save her. Not anymore. Update. Rachel filed for the emergency protective order first thing yesterday morning. By late afternoon it was granted temporary, good for 14 days pending a hearing. Rachel told me to expect one of two things. Silence if Kelly took it seriously. And escalation if she panicked. It didn't take long to find out. Last night, around 9 p.m., Mark and I were watching a ball game when his doorbell rang. We looked at each other. He checked the camera. It was Kelly. Hair mess, sweatshirt, crying. No car in sight, must have gotten dropped off. I grabbed my phone, called the police immediately. Rachel had prepped me for this. Mark answered through the doorbell speaker, Kelly, you need to leave. You are violating a court order. She was sobbing, barely coherent. Please, I just want to talk to him. Please, Mark, tell him I'm sorry. Just 5 minutes. Please. We didn't engage. Just waited. Police arrived fast, maybe 5 minutes. 2 cruisers. I stayed inside while they talked to her on the porch. Could hear bits through the open window, ma'am, you need to come with us. You're in violation. You cannot be here. She was crying, apologizing over and over. No resistance, thank God. They took her peacefully. Rachel called me this morning after getting the police report. Adam, you did exactly right. Now we'll petition for a full no-contact order, longer term. And this incident will weigh heavily in court when we finalize the divorce. Here's the kicker, Rachel also found out Kelly cleaned out her personal savings account last week. Thousands gone. No idea where it went. Probably part of why she spiraled. Rachel's filing an emergency motion to freeze joint assets now. Just in time. So here's where it stands tonight. She violated the protective order. She'll be facing legal consequences, maybe even mandatory counseling. The no-contact hearing is next week. Divorce is moving forward faster now. And me? I'm tired, yeah, but clearer than I've been since this started. Because last night was the final line. Even if some part of me, the old, dumb, hopeful part, still wondered if this was salvageable, seeing her like that, broken and desperate on Mark's porch, that closed the door for good. There's no going back. I'm done. Update. The no-contact hearing was this morning. Rachel picked me up herself, didn't want me walking into court alone. I'm grateful for that. Kelly was there. I'll be honest, seeing her again after the porch incident shook me more than I expected. She looked wrecked. Hollowed out. Like she hadn't slept in days. She had a public defender with her, not her old lawyer. Probably can't afford one now. When the judge came in, things moved fast. The police report from her violating the protective order was ironclad. Rachel presented everything calmly, professionally. Kelly didn't fight it. When asked if she wished to contest the no-contact order, she shook her head. Voice barely a whisper. No, Your Honor. I just want him to be safe. I'm sorry. It nearly broke me hearing that. Because somewhere under all of this mess, I think she meant it. But it doesn't change anything. The judge granted a 1-year no-contact order, no calls, no texts, no third-party contact. If she violates it again, she'll face jail time. Afterward, Rachel and I stepped into the hall. I was shaking a little. She put a hand on my shoulder. You did the right thing. You're protected now. We'll finalize the divorce soon. You're almost there. On the way home, my phone buzzed, but it wasn't Kelly. It was from Ryan. One line. She's checked into inpatient treatment today. Just thought you should know. Wishing you peace, man. I stared at it a long time. Part of me wanted to cry. Another part just let out a long, tired breath. Because here's the truth, I do hope she gets better. For her own sake. But I can't save her. And I can't sacrifice myself to her pain anymore. So here I am tonight, sitting in Mark's living room, guitar in hand. Rachel says we can likely finalize the divorce within the next 6 weeks now. And for the first time, I can see the end of this tunnel. I'm not the same man who walked out of that house after the party. I'll carry those scars. But I'm still here. And somehow, through it all, I'm still standing. Final update. It's done. The divorce finalized this morning. I signed the last set of papers yesterday and Rachel called me first thing today. It's official, Adam. You're free. Free. Funny word. I thought I'd feel this rush of relief or some grand sense of victory. But what I really felt was quiet. Not sadness. Not joy. Just quiet. Mark and Jenna insisted on taking me out tonight, low-key, just the three of us. We grabbed burgers at this little dive we used to hit before life got so heavy. They didn't push me to talk. Just let me be. I needed that. On the way home, Jenna asked softly, "What now?" And for the first time in months, I had an answer. I think. I'm just going to live. One day at a time. No plans. No big moves. Just live. I'm not rushing to date. Not packing up and running to some new city. Hell, I'm not even sure when I'll move out of Mark's yet. They've made it clear I can stay as long as I need. But I've got my guitar again. Been playing more every night. Even started picking at some old song ideas I'd shelved years ago. And you know what? It feels good. For the first time in a long time, it's for me. No gigs. No pressure. Just me and 6 strings and whatever comes out. I don't know what happens next. Maybe in a few months I'll get my own place. Maybe one day I'll meet someone new. But for now, I'm breathing. I'm healing. And I'm free. And after everything, that's enough. Thank you to anyone who followed this journey. If you're going through something similar, take it from me, you're stronger than you think. One step at a time. Epilogue 14 months later. Funny how life moves on even when you think it can't. A year ago, I was sleeping in Mark's spare room clutching a guitar like it was a life raft. Today, I'm writing this from the small apartment I've been renting for about 6 months now. Nothing fancy, 1 bedroom, old hardwood floors, sun that comes through the window just right in the mornings. But it's mine. I bought a new couch. New coffee maker. First time I've bought furniture alone in my life. I kept the old Martin, of course. It's sitting in the corner right now, strings worn in just how I like them. Mark and Jenna still check in, we grab beers every couple weeks. I owe them more than I can say. And Kelly? She completed her inpatient program. From what I hear, through Rachel and a few mutual friends, she's been clean, in therapy, working on herself. She sent me a letter about 6 months ago. Respectful. No pleading. Just an honest apology. I didn't reply. Not out of anger. Just because there wasn't anything left to say. The no-contact order expired last month. No drama. No sudden calls. She's moving on in her way. And so am I. Some scars are still there. I can't look at certain guitars online without feeling that pang of loss. The old collection, that's gone. But strangely, I'm okay with it now. Because what I've found is this, you can't rebuild the past. You can only build something new from where you stand now. Music is part of my life again for me this time. A buddy of mine from the hardware store runs a little open mic at a local bar. He dragged me out one night and somehow I ended up playing a couple songs. Didn't think I'd have the nerve. But when I looked up, no judgment, just a couple dozen people swaying along, I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Peace. These days, that's enough. I'm not chasing some big comeback. Not rushing to fill the empty spaces. I wake up. I make coffee. I play when I feel like it. I work. I walk. I breathe. And sometimes I smile. I never thought I'd get here. But here I am. Still standing.